Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Malbash Media Show. I am your host, Ashley, and today I have in the studio two very talented podcasters and voiceover artists. So we've got some really great talent here in the studio. So I'm really excited to have you guys. We're going to be talking about networking, and because we're looking, obviously Christmas, right? But, the New Year is right around the corner. So we're really going to be focusing on what to do in the new year to help to push your business and promote your business even more. So I've got some really great, we're just talking to Tiffany, and we got Mack here. We've had Mack on a previous show, and Tiffany will be having on a future show so that you guys can learn more about what she does for her podcasting of small business. And then Mack just started a podcast called Behind the Pen, where you get to learn about Beyond the Pen. Thank you. And I'll let you guys introduce your business. But thank you for being here, guys. And go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your business.
Who's going
Ladies
first? Oh, okay. All right. So hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Tiffany Broman. I am from New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, currently, originally from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Just putting that out there. I am the host of Small Biz Highlight. It's a web show, podcast, and digital TV show focused around introducing the people behind a small business, talking about their products and services, and then, talking about how COVID has affected them and what they've had to do to pivot to get to where they are now to kind of survive the pandemic, or talk about why they weren't able to, always getting their side of the story versus everybody else's side of it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Be back.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Griffin. I'm a voiceover actor and the host of a new series called Beyond the Pen. It's where I bring authors on not only to tell us about themselves and their book, but also tell us the story behind the story. And like my co-host here, I should say she's my sister. Okay, we'll just put it that way. She is my sister right now, from another mother. We always say that about each other. Anyways, but yeah, I help small businesses, and I also currently right now I'm helping authors to learn everything they can about audiobooks, about the platforms that they can put them on, and sometimes even actually recording the audiobooks as well. I'm currently working on one at this moment, and once I get it done, hopefully it will be up by the beginning of next year, hopefully, but we'll see.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I'm really excited to have you guys because Tiffany, you have this really, you guys just got on your own TV show. So that's really fantastic. You've grown a whole bunch, and we were just talking. She has literally started a show, what you said, August, and you already have over 12,000 or 1,200 downloads. I mean, that's really, really amazing for especially podcasting and everything.
I know nothing about podcasting. Honestly, I know nothing about what I'm doing. I've kind of been learning as I go with this whole thing. I started the web show in April of 2020, and that's just been going live every Monday. Then I didn't get around to making it a podcast until this past August while I was away on army training. Just took advantage of the quiet time at night that I get none of at home.
Army training, sir!
So, officially uploaded it like a whole season and a half at one time. And yeah, since August, the stats only on Anchor are telling me that it's 1,200 downloads just with all the places that it streams to from there. So I guess I would have to look at what the other places are that don't, calculate on Anchor to get the whole number. It's just crazy because I know nothing if whether it was good or not. Like I was asking you guys, should I be okay with that?
Right. Yeah, no, that's really huge. Now, how did you tell us about the story of how you got asked to be, to have your own TV show, and you're like on a IMDb now and you're official or whatever,
I'm official. I'm a real show, guys, like Pinocchio.
I love it.
Okay. So I'm
a real host.
We have Lady Myya hopefully coming on here soon. But anyways, go ahead, Tiffany.
No,
share with us.
She's gonna chime in like right when it's her time to talk, and she's gonna be like perfect timing. I love it.
And you'll never get her off talking off.
I in my first year that I started the show, back in 2020, I was hosting. I had this like really crazy idea to host a 12-hour event where I was live for 12 hours, and every 20 minutes I would bring on a business to do a little infomercial type thing. So it's like a QVC kind of thing or home shopping network, but focused on small businesses to, um, uh, get the word out with what specials they've got going on for the holidays, just to help promote shopping small since everybody was stuck at home for the holidays anyway.
Yeah.
It was a really great event. It was my first one, so of course there were technical difficulties here and there, and there were
12
things I
hours,
learned
that's a
along
long
the way, like,
time.
duh, why haven't I been doing this since the beginning? But it was great learning experience, and I'm forever grateful to the vendors who, chimed in with me and really gave me that opportunity. Um, so it was after that event. I just got done and I got this random instant messenger message. Hey, have you ever considered the thought of making your web show a digital TV show? I was just like, okay, dude, look, it's cool and all, but it's not nice to play with people's emotions. It's the holidays. Like, I'm broke. I just lost my job during the pandemic. I've got no money for this kind of thing. And he was just like, no, I promise it's real. I'll prove it to you.
It's
Sent the
legit, I
contract.
swear. It's legit.
Yeah, right. Luckily, because I'm in the military, I have a lot of great friends who are lawyers that I just said, hey guys, could you take a look at this stuff for me? They said they saw nothing quirky about it. I said, take it if I wanted to take the opportunity. And I mean, who wouldn't want to take the opportunity? So now it's streaming on Roku devices in like 136 different countries can reach it. I mean, it's a huge blessing. It's one that I'm still just it's there, and the episodes are there. My boys have seen it, and they're like, "Mommy, you're on TV," but it's just still not real to me, and I don't know
It's
how else to
amazing.
explain it.
Yeah, well, you should feel super proud. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, and I'm so excited that your little boys are the cheerleaders too. That's pretty fantastic. Matt, go ahead and tell us a little bit about. I mean, you've had a recent kind of explosion too. You've done a lot with audiobooks and doing voiceover acting, but recently you've gotten the opportunity to have your own podcast and be official in a different way, or have your own show with the uh, Beyond the Pen, right? That's right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Correct, madam.
It should have been called Behind the Pen, by the way. I really don't know. Or in between.
I mean, if you're here to talk about that, that should be on your name thing, Maccabee, not Mack Griffin VO. But okay, I digress. It's your turn.
Right. I agree.
Okay, first off, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm not going to win no matter what's going to happen here. So just prepare for the chaos that is going to be everything that's happening. So, yes, my my show recently came up because I actually decided to. Am I still on? It's okay.
Mhm.
I'm still on. Okay, I saw everybody gone, and I was like, "Wait a minute, am I still on? Hello."
He just left
No,
you.
yeah,
You're coming in clear, Mack. You're coming in clear.
I'm just
keep going straight,
Good
sir.
job.
Keep
Over.
going straight. You'll be fine. I promise. No. Sorry. My wife's laying down, so anyway, yeah, no. Yes, what's funny is that the way I got it was I was in on Clubhouse in our Saturday show or Saturday meetings on eMixer, and eMixer is where we bring on entrepreneurs in there, and we just learn from people who are actually getting it done, and we just try to help each other out. From small businesses, we've got people on there that are financial advisors, we've got lawyers on there, we've got publishers, we got pretty much everybody and anybody in there that are there to help people out. And one of the gentlemen in there is Mr. I should say Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. And he said, hey, we've got a live book fair. Maybe you should come on there and talk to somebody, some of the authors on there, and just tell them what you do. And you never know what happened. I was like, sure, why not? And so I did. And right after we got done with the show, the person in charge of the podcast, Mr. Donnie Glover, decided to push out his number. It's like, I got some ideas that, possibly we could help to promote your shows on there. Just because I'm always thinking outside, from an entrepreneur point of view of how to put myself out there to all these different businesses. And he said, yeah, just give me a call right after the show. I was like, okay, sure. And sure enough, after I got done talking to him, he's like, so if you had a show, what would you call it? And at first I was like, Your Legacy, because I love hearing people's stories. And, everybody's got a great story. Everybody's story is unique and it should be told. And it's like, I like that. So what kind of schedule do you got right now? It's like, well, I'm pretty open on Saturdays. What time? Noon. All right. So Your Legacy, live from Indianapolis, hosted by Mack Griffin. Like, okay. It's like, sure, you're gonna start Saturday with that. A week after, I'm like,
I'll never forget that day. He called me freaking out.
I called Tiffany. I called Lady Myya. I think I called you, Ashley, as well, I think. But it was like,
you call me a lot. So I don't know.
Hey, that's just because you got my profile all jacked up, so no one will find me, and I can't get work because of you. Anyways, but no, it was funny. It's like I was going through that, and then during the week, I was trying to figure like who I could get on there, how we get started and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I called him. I was like, hey, I got an idea for another show, maybe later. Speaking of the lady, she's there.
There she is. Yay!
But it was weird.
I knew she could do it. Technology is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry if we're not allowed to say that.
No, you're right with her on that one. Yes, she can be. But no, it was funny is that during that week I was like, okay, hey, I got an idea for a different show. Maybe call some, because you guys got so many authors as friends and everything. Why don't you have a show called Beyond the Pen? And I guess he was really busy at that point. He's like, you know what? It's your show. You call it what you want and you go with it. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're doing this one instead. Cool. And sure enough, I had him on as my first guest, and then Dr. McKenzie. And those two shows are actually rebroadcasting because they're on Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And because obviously Christmas and New Year's Day, I just have a rebroadcasting of those two. And then my first guest will be in January. So that'll be the next time that we go live. But yeah, it's been an interesting road so far. And I know I remember at first when I was talking to Tiffany about this, at some point I swear that she got jealous because she's like, I've been doing this for 2 years and you get it just thrown in your lap.
No, so, it wasn't just that. I've been doing it by myself.
By yourself.
100% for 2 years. Meanwhile, here you go. You have somebody who's willing to do all the back work for you. All you have to do is go live. Must be nice.
Hey, actually, no, I actually have to do stuff too. In fact, I actually made the overlay thanks to Miss Tiffany here. Yeah, she gave me the overlays for StreamYard, and I created something. And what's funny is that the overlay that I used for my show, yes, Tiffany, you're beautiful. We know this. Is the fact that once I did that and I had it going on, we went live and everything. After we got off here, it's like, how much would it be for you to make one of those for me? I was like, $50. I don't know. And he goes, all right, I'll pay for it. You just need to send it to me. I'm like,
I got to learn from this opportunity and be like, yo, I should not be giving out this stuff for free.
I'll split it
Mack is
25.
lucky. I
was
love
just
him.
about to
Like,
say,
I'll give you the $25. So
right?
It is.
Like, this is the value of networking. You get stuff from your friends for free, and you get to, you know, like, that is the value. Like, you guys are all representation of networking at its finest.
Absolutely. Here's the other hilarious part is that Lady Myya has been telling me for like weeks and weeks that you need to get your own show. You need to get online so people can see you.
Speaking of Lady Myya, sorry, Mack, you gotta be quiet for a little bit. We need to introduce the lovely Lady Myya, and please tell us. So glad that you could make it on here. I'm Ashley, by the way.
I'm just hitting every button on this thing and trying to connect this as good as I can. I'm like, okay, how about this one? How about this one? I don't think that one was it. Let me go back and try it again. That's what we do. But yes, this is awesome. Okay, so I am a podcaster as well. And so I am on season 2 and almost done with season 2. Thank you, Jesus. And so just plenty of people. Mack, I just drug him everywhere I went. Just like, come on, no. You're not supposed to be there. Be over here. Look, you need this link. You need that link. You know, let's do this together. This has been really, really cool because I've been like, no, do the voice. You know, do the voice. I don't care what you say. Do the voice.
I did one for her so that she could just mess with her husband at one point.
Yes.
He didn't like me after that for a little while.
He's fine. But I do have a radio show and a TV show as well. And I'm loving it. I'm not as good as Tiff. So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm like, oh, she got what? I wrote it down and everything. She did what? Okay. So this is what we're gonna do now. Okay.
Just wait to hear what I just wait.
Oh no.
I got another note for you, Lady Myya. How about this? I have my own app available on Apple Store and Google Play.
She got money.
All my podcast episodes,
No, she got
all my digital
no
TV
money.
show episodes, all my web show episodes, all in one spot. All my events that I plan, everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing. See,
throwing in her lap there. Just throwing in her lap.
I'm usually harassing most of the people that come on my show. So I'm like, hey, where you at? What you doing right now? No, right now. Right. Can you hear me right now? I'm gonna need you to get on this link. And they be like,
that's right.
I guess.
That sometimes where you're just like, no, I don't want to know what you're doing 15 minutes from now. I mean, like right now, drop whatever you're doing and listen to me. You have to do that.
I'm good for last minute. I'm really good for last minute. I'm like, come on now, right now. But this has been like really, really cool because like normally I would be the one in the background pushing all the buttons, not pushing good restream buttons, but you know, I'm pushing these buttons. And usually I used to write. I haven't written for about 2 years now. And so but it's been phenomenal. And the people that I harass, yes, fun. Hello. And they just be like, girl, I got to talk to you for 5 hours. Yes. You don't talk to me for 5 hours.
It'll be about that. Yeah. It actually is about 5 hours or so.
Yes.
I've had these conversations with her on multiple occasions.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
I think at one point me and her actually had a conversation about her script that she has been isn't it being produced right now?
Yes, my movie script is being produced. It's so
that's amazing. Congratulations.
I'm not trying to really
What's it called?
Oh God. It's called Stairway to Heaven. Just saying. And I'm not trying to really take this because this is one of my my forever friends. His he put his name on it and jacked it all up. So I'm like, okay, can we not? Can we? I really don't.
Yes.
You're still attached to it, so it doesn't matter.
Pretty much. Counts. I mean, I'm at the back. I'm the back end.
You got it copyrighted, right?
Look, I told him he can have it as long as he puts it up there, and as long as my little name is up there, I don't care what you do. It was like, because you're gonna jack it up, so whatever. But I'm excited. Just meeting new people. It's so much fun. I can't see, so I'm sorry, y'all. You're gonna see me scranting a lot. But I've met all types of people, just got to know so many people. Mack is my best friend. I'm like, Mack, hey, what's going on? And so now I get to talk to him every Saturday, which is awesome. I'm loving it. And but I hope I get to talk to you ladies. Oh my God, like we get to talk. Can we talk? Like that hair day. Is it a good hair day? Like curls? What are we doing? Flat? Okay.
We can have a virtual girl night.
I don't know why I honestly
have a glass of whatever to drink. I don't drink, so I'll have like juice or something in mine. But
sparkling cider or something, girl. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
I think, ladies and gentlemen, you have just discovered the origin story of the next podcast with these three on there.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that we need to do like the Podcasters Unite story and go
it's going to be
farther.
Oh Lord, it's going to be another
go
version
beyond
of
the podcast.
It's going,
there we go.
Yes, God, I like it.
Beyond the podcast. I love it. I love it.
I like it.
Oh my gosh! Well, you guys are so adorable, and it's great to have you guys on here. And I want to hear more of this fun banner and like the stories behind your networking, obviously with each other, but how you got to where you're at. What have you had to do to get there? Because networking is one of the biggest things that any business needs, right? And it's hard to network yourself. It's hard to sell yourself. And it's a sales process basically. And so what have you done to get that far? And I hope nobody's running out on time or anything like that. I hope you guys are good for a little bit. Okay, great.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
So yes,
our little monsters are taken care of right now.
Yeah, our boyfriends are taking care of the little monsters.
She said my boyfriend.
I know. I was like a little worried about that. I was like, "Oh, Mack, you didn't say."
So
this is why I was so scared to come on because I knew
so perfect, guys. He set himself up for that. I'm telling you, we had a group chat last night, and I said, "Okay, just double checking the time so that I can make sure my boyfriend takes care of my monsters." And all he said was, "Ditto." What do you expect me to take out of that? Other than, Mack, you gotta get your boyfriend to figure out. I'm sorry. Look,
this is why I don't go on shows with my sisters. This is why I don't get on a show with my sisters, ladies. Don't do a show with family.
Come on, it's so much fun though.
Let it happen, Mack.
Just let it.
Let it go.
Aren't you technically the big brother anyway? So you should be able to take the little sisters beating up on you.
Oh yes, that's fun. As long as you get to like them, that's
well. First off, one of the sisters is older than me. I won't say which one, but
like, let's go.
Oh Lord. Okay.
It's all the heart. We don't. Yeah, no numbers here.
Advertising for me goes, I think every time somebody thinks of advertising, they automatically go with they have to buy advertising and they have to figure out how to put ads on Facebook and ads on Instagram and ads everywhere and just pay. But I mean, when I first started out, like I mentioned earlier, I had no choice but to resign my job during COVID. My job literally said, You cannot work from home anymore. You need to be back in the office with no daycares available for me to take my kids. I was like, okay. So if you're not willing to work with me, I have no choice but to quit. And that's how it ended. I said, fine, I quit. I'm going home with my kids. Don't put me in a corner. I'm gonna choose my family over it all. But it was a scary moment. I was the breadwinner at that moment. So I lost my income. And it took, I think, 4 months for unemployment to kick in. 4 months where I had nothing coming in. Meanwhile, I was still doing the show. So I'm freaking out thinking, what am I going to do to help spread the word about the show and make sure that, the businesses I'm interviewing are, getting the traction they need, at least one person to watch their episode, And honestly, it's just been consistency with me for the most part. Not so much buying the advertisements, but just posting and figuring out a schedule for it that fits my schedule and using free tools. I started out my podcasting adventure with the free version of everything and stayed on the free version for as long as I needed to until I could pay for the pay grades.
Right.
The upgrades. I don't know why I said pay grades. Upgrades is what I meant, people. But seriously, the free versions, there was an app I used, I still use. Why am I saying past tense? Ripple, RIPL. So I initially started out with it because then it helps you create fancy little posts and whatnot. And then you can post to all your social media from that one app. But then when I upgraded to the paid version, it took it that next step further where I could actually schedule out my posts for like the entire month in one day. I could sit there, copy, paste, schedule out, and then my whole month is taken care of, other than, the onesie twosies that you do on the spot for whatever reason it may be. That for me was huge because I was home, jobless, 2 kids to homeschool from home, plus trying to run this business that I knew nothing about what I was doing. Yeah, little things like that is what helped to then get me to the point where I could go to networking events. And it's tough when you don't have money to start out with because a lot of people are wanting you to pay for their services or pay a certain amount to get started, but you don't have that money, and you just you feel like you're not doing everything you can do for your guests, for the show, what have you. But as Mack will tell you, because we met at a bartering networking group is top notch. Because let me tell you, bartering is what has got me to this point of my career. Exchanging services for services.
Exactly.
A clean cut exchange. I would not have my app without it. I would not have my backgrounds, anything that makes, even my intro to my show, everything. I have traded advertising or something of that effect to in lieu of those services specifically to help enhance the show. And now because of that, it's built me up to the point where it's growing and I'm able to network even more to help grow the show and hopefully start making money soon.
That's amazing. Congratulations. That's huge. That is huge. Wow.
That is huge.
Where is this group? Like, where did you guys find this group at? Where do you guys network? Where do you guys find the groups at that are most successful, or what you've experienced?
You can do it literally. Local groups.
There's tons of local groups.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times if you just Google local bartering groups, you'll come up with a lot of them, or bartering groups near me, networking groups. Sometimes you can even get that information from the Better Business Bureau, and they can help you out a bit.
Eventbrite was really big on like announcing events that are nearby.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Or virtual events. During COVID, it was all about the virtual events because we were stuck at home.
Yeah.
We couldn't go anywhere.
Alignable is a good one.
I think it was a really big moment for networking during COVID to do virtual events. As annoying as they got to a point, it got annoying to do them, but they were just more effective because then you're not just networking with people across the street from you. You're networking with people all over the world. And talk about growth.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so true.
And that's why when people say that, the pandemic has done so many horrible things, they don't notice all the good things that have happened because of it. Look at Zoom. Zoom became one of the biggest companies during that year. Same thing with Google. And with everybody doing all these Zoom meetings, and it gave access to a lot of small businesses to actually learn how they can network with other people all over the place. There's groups like Boda, which is the one that we actually met through. There's H7. There's so many things and so many places you can go. Clubhouse is a good one that you can go on to. Wisdom is one that you can go on to. I like Wisdom because here's the thing: Wisdom is like Clubhouse, but it's not. You can't bring other people. You can only bring one person on stage at a time. And the other thing is, one, it's free, and two, it's still in its infancy, so there's not a whole lot of people on there, but there's so many subjects that you can go on there with. I have my own little account on there that I do. I go on there and I talk to other people, give some words of wisdom. I know I look like I'm from the 70s, but I promise you, the wisdom that I do have is just because of the fact that I have these two up above me right now that give me a little bit here and there, but mostly it's just
hair that should be giving you away.
No, we would never.
We would never. You're the one that brought it up, but are we supposed to take that you're from the 70s because of the facial hair? Is that what's giving you away?
It's not from the 70s, just a little bit.
This is why, again, why you don't work with family.
I promise it's all love.
I know
both
it's love.
Military
I
vets.
know it's love.
We bonded on a whole different level because we have the same issues with our kids.
Everything, yeah.
And
basically, we basically siblings. We're the male and female part of each other, and it's very disturbing, especially when I tell other people, yes, there is a female version of me, and they look at me like, oh dear God, I don't know if I can deal with that. And vice versa, of course. But it is fun that but yes, networking, you have to network. As a voice actor, I've said this before, my first year was nothing but auditions. And I really didn't get anything. I got 10 jobs out of the thousands that I sent.
Wow.
But once I started networking, that's when it happened. That's when I started to get more people in my life that were supportive, that said, hey, I know some people that I could refer you to, talk to them, this and that. And I've made so many great relationships along the way that have turned into this, but it's something that I'm very happy about because, again, when my show came up, I was like, I have no clue what the heck I'm going to do. I have no clue how to run it. I don't know what I need. Help. And sure enough, when I called these two, it's like, oh yeah, all you gotta do is this, and this. Oh, if you need some layouts, oh yeah, just come. We'll set up a time you can call, and I'll walk you through StreamYard. I'll help you with this. And if I had not networked, I would have not met these two beautiful women here, and I would have never met. I would have never done what I've done. And so networking, like I say, networking is such a huge thing, and a lot of times it's free. You don't have to spend.
Most 90%
of the time it's free. Obviously, there are some networking groups that charge you a certain amount, but at least you can go in and you can visit a couple of times to figure out whether or not you want to put money into them.
Oh, absolutely.
But networking is a key to survival as a business owner, especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I was telling somebody the other day, to get on Clubhouse, because I was telling an actor to get onto Clubhouse because there's so many fantastic opportunities there that they're going to be running around trying to get in Hollywood with all the other, all the other craziness that goes on, right? So I was telling her to get onto that, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." It's true that you just need to know what groups to get into and what is even out there. And COVID did help with that, to a certain extent, right? It's helped to open up the whole world to so many of us because of the virtual world.
Yes.
So that's pretty fantastic. But Myya, how about you? What has been your best, a networking tool that you've used besides Mack?
Yes.
What? I like to talk. I get paid to talk. Okay.
I know.
Good Lord.
And I'm the other talk. Yes. On the other side of the talk.
Oh, no. You think I can talk? This woman will 5-hour talk conversations. Most of the time it's her vomiting out words. I'll leave it at that.
It's really
Tiffany,
true.
You can use her on your show when you do the 24-hour, marathon.
Oh my gosh. You wouldn't have a show.
She could help me co-host. I don't have to stand there smiling for 12 hours straight.
You guys are close to each other.
Yes. I do that. I got you, girl. I got you. I'm telling you, the networking has been interesting. I'll say this to be the least. I'm like, hey, I'm on these groups in Facebook, and I'm big on it, especially the podcasters. I'm like, hey, who wants to be on my podcast? And most of them, it'll be like 60 people. And you'll sit there like, oh, I just booked up a whole month and the next month and the next month. Okay, well, all right. I'm sending links now. And it was just one of those things. Now I'm looking, I'm looking forward to actually building the people that I've come in contact with. I mean, they've gotten so much content as far as what they're doing and how they're saying, and what way they came up with is working for them. And so I'm like, this is awesome. So I did that because at first what I did was I was on Facebook. And so, I mean, it wasn't bad, Sister Girl was shy and whatnot until she opened her mouth, and then that was it. And so, yes, it was just like, okay, I made all my friends that way. And I was just like, oh, wait, what can you do? I will ask everybody how much you make, what you do. Oh, really? What else you do? So they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I have this company, and I can do this and I can do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking gears are rolling. And then you're like, well, what if I was able to help you with, and so a lot of people got on my on a radio show. So that's live. It's not live, but it's every Sunday. And so it's just like they get excited. They get excited as soon as I'd be like, okay, now we're gonna talk some junk. All right, you ready? And then they're ready to like, okay, what you gonna talk about? Because like, don't give me nothing. I'm not trying to do the drama. I'm not trying to do this. And I'm like, nah. I'm your home girl. Okay, we gonna talk. We here. And when they see that this is who I am all the time, they're like, I can't wait to get back on this thing with you. And it's been so much fun. The very first people I think I did have to go through was, I think it was podcast guide.com. And so that was one of the ones where they had it up there that you can ask them, all these different people, if they would like to be on your podcast. And they're up there for the sole reason of being on podcast. So it was just great. I mean, you get I had a I had a director friend from Canada that did a movie, a whole movie, and he wanted to be on a podcast. And I was like, "You're not saying nothing. Can you come on now? No? Okay. Next week, I got you." So it was just a matter of, getting in the right space, especially since, she said, the free ones, it's not so bad. It's really not, because as long as you're looking for content and not really having to spend a whole lot of money for it. I mean, it can be a little bit much because sometimes it's like $30 a month or something like that. But I mean, you get some real good content, and it's not the same stuff that you're normally getting. So you're like, now you can have it look differently or have it sound differently, which, I mean, every now and again, have that sound to be different is good. So that was always fun. I mean, I love all the podcasting groups on Facebook. I harass them as much as possible. Who are you and what did you do? A lot of them are in the UK. So if you want to go overseas, you got UK, you got Australia. If you hear my dude from Australia, I know I love him. I will make it happen. Anyway, um, there was a lot of people. Everybody is from different spots and every points of view and different things like that. And it's just too much. It's a lot, but I mean, it's something I love. I really love to do it. So, yeah.
I think just to add on to what you said, even if you're a small business or even just an entrepreneur yourself, go on a podcast.
Yes.
Find podcasters and just sell them, hey, this is what I do. This is my product or service that I provide.
Yeah.
Just make sure when you're requesting a podcaster, just make sure exactly that what you do does actually coordinate with what they are about. Because like there's another one that she did when she said podcaster, what was the pod thing that you just said? The
What,
group they get.
Oh, what the are you talking about?
The company that you mentioned. The site that you just said.
Oh yeah. So that's guess podcast.com. And so that one, and then there's another one. So there's so many little different ones that you can get onto and not really have to spend a whole lot of money. And I mean, you can take them people.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, what I was about to say was that there's another one called Pod Booker. And if you are a podcaster, you can get on there and request guest, or you can put a profile on there to be a guest. So like she said, there's multiple things out there, and those are other ways to get your name out there. Yeah. I don't care if you're an actor. I don't care if you are a plumber. I don't care what you are, what your trade is, what your craft is. Getting on a podcast that has something to do with what you do is going to help get you in front of people. And
so true.
Especially if you do. It's
you
publicity.
can easily get the links to everything, put it on your website. Then people can actually listen to an interview of you if they're trying to look to see if you're a good fit for them. Sure. What's really great about doing, whether it's video or a podcast where it's just audio or whatever, you can't fake it.
No,
you cannot fake who you are, no matter how hard you try. Your personality, the tone of your voice, the way you approach questions. On my show, I don't schedule out questions. I don't plan it ahead of time.
I don't like that.
I keep it conversational. And a lot of people, that makes them uncomfortable. But I'm looking for their true person to come out. I need that because that's what's going to help build those connections with the viewers and make them want to do business with them. Yes, what they can do for you is a good incentive. But I want to be able to do business with someone because I feel like I could connect with them. Because then that's when you're not just doing business with them one time. They're going to be your continuous connection every time you need something. Or if someone in your family needs something, your first go-to is going to be that person because of that connection you had. So, it's huge.
No, I hear you. You know what? That's so right, because it's like, how many times do we come into contact with, maybe one, maybe two people of the same thing, and you're like, I don't know, but I think I want to start with the first one. Let's see how that goes, and then, yeah, okay, well, I think they could have did better with that second one. Let me do that second one, and so it's just like, you just gotta take a chance. Everybody's got to take a chance on everybody. And it's just like, come on. First of all, do we use the same thing every time? No. And even if I'm not your cup of tea, I understand. Let's do it. Let's do something else. You never know. If you stand on, hold on long enough, you'll get plenty of content, because I'm crazy. Okay, crazy. Mack, you tell them.
There are so many things that I could tell them, but I'm trying to keep it rated G, at least from a minimum PG. No, there's some stories, believe me, on all these women that I know of. Well, not as much on Ashley, but at least on Tiffany and Lady Myya. I definitely have so many stories. If I could ever blackmail them on, I would do it, but I love them too much to do that anyways.
Into the universe, Mack? Like, what is that? You know what, though? It's really important to get on podcasts, get on web shows, whatever you're trying to get on.
Yeah.
And I would really suggest not just focusing on business podcasts if you're a business.
Yeah.
Maybe there's podcasts for everything and everyone out there. How-to podcasts.
Yep.
Like, I bet you, if you're a plumber, like someone suggested earlier, if you're a plumber and there's a how-to podcast, why not say, hey, have me as a guest on your podcast? We could talk about this specific thing that I'm an expert at. Yes. Those people the host of those types of podcasts like to be the subject matter experts, but they love bringing on everybody else who is one too, because what I always say on my show is small businesses are a clan of their own. If we are not supporting each other, why should anybody else support us?
Exactly.
If we are not putting ourselves first and supporting each other as small businesses or entrepreneurs or work from home individuals, why would anybody else feel obligated to do it, or at least, compelled to do it in any way?
Absolutely.
Why? If we are not supporting each other, it's just that simple, I think.
Look, I like books. So they send me books, and I got a whole wall full of books. And they were like, so did you read it? And I'm like, the first, the last
page,
and the middle.
Like,
here's the thing. She doesn't have just a few books. She has a library in her room. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing is, if you can't be a guest on someone's podcast,
right,
create your own. Even like I said before, plumber. There's so much information with just being a plumber in the trades that you can explain to people.
Yeah.
Like, because of the fact that I've did some of the trades before earlier in my life. I did more carpentry, as well as doing other like set designs and stuff like that. So there are a lot of things that some people don't know about when it comes to set design. You have to, not only do you have to work with, the people that are the light designers, the sound designers, are, the directors themselves, but sometimes they all base everything off of what you give them.
Yep.
So there are a lot of different things when it comes to like set design, but there's also a lot of things about building a house that is very important. That's why there was plenty of carpentry shows like Homes on Homes, because there were certain things that people were doing within the industry that they shouldn't have done and were hurting people. That's why he started his show. So when I'm talking about someone that's in the trades to actually start their own podcast, then you know what, if you've come across certain things within your time, your experience with going through these old houses and finding all these jacked up ways that people have thought that they could do it, but they didn't, and now you're fixing it. Tell stories like this. You know, tell the key things of your craft and present it to the world. It doesn't matter if you get like a couple of people at first. It doesn't matter if you have thousands of people later on. It is the stories and the information you are giving to people that are changing their lives. And like we said before, you're networking with other people. You're bringing guests on sometimes, and you're talking to them. And you're also putting yourself out there in free advertisement because it's your show. Tell everybody about yourself. Sell yourself like you were on the corner.
That's definitely been something I had to learn. Absolutely. No, it's true though. Like what he said, with everybody has a story. You could be a stay-at-home mom who's been homeschooling your kid for 10 years or whatever. Just because there's so many other moms doing the same thing does not mean that they do it the same way, that they don't want different tips and tricks from other moms that are doing it, because that's what a community is all about. What is it that they say about kids? It takes a village to raise them and stuff like that. It's about businesses too. It takes a freaking village to make a business work. So if you think that the way you're doing things is the only way that's going to be right, and you're just going to do it that way and not even look at what other people are doing, you're wrong. Or if you are a small business and not offering advice to other businesses on what they can do to help amplify them, help get better, whatever, you're wrong. You're wrong. If you are of that mindset where they're competition, then you're in the wrong game. You should not be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is true networking and building each other up. If you want to be a sole proprietor away from everybody, then go into the corporate world and leave us alone. We don't need you. That's how I feel about
us.
Leave us. Get away from us. Good God Almighty.
We don't need your negative energy in this world. Be gone.
I love it.
I told you when I first got, past this idea towards you, get ready for the chaos and the wisdom that comes with it.
It's organized chaos. I would give it that.
You guys are fantastic. I'd say it's passion. You guys are very passionate about.
Yes. We love people. Like, we love being able to be helpful, to show them, hey, come on, follow me. I know this way, and this way it just helps, everybody's happy, and then they tell everybody else about you. So like
exactly. And that just adds to the snowball effect of the networking. Would have been some good highlights for you guys. Obviously I know you've shared some, but what are some highlights that you can look back on and be like, wow, that was a great milestone for myself, or that I met this really cool person? I mean, you guys have all met each other, which is a huge milestone, right? But what are some of the other highlights that you guys have that you like to share?
I have one.
One?
Okay, maybe a couple. Okay, so listen. What I did was I put myself out there, right? When I first started with my podcast, and people were listening and they loved my personality and different things like that. I was just like, oh, girl, you crazy. I like you. And I'm like, yes, I like me too. So one guy was like, I don't know about you, but would you be ready to do a radio show? And I was like, absolutely not. But yes, in the back of my mind, yes, I said not. And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I was just like, is this going to be live and stuff? Because, sister girl can't read good, and sister girl can't do this good and that. And so it was fun. It was a whole lot of fun. I got the chance to know a lot of people in the radio field, and I didn't never think that I was going to get to that, so fast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not see this coming. What am I supposed to do now? So it was like, it was really coming out of the comfort and different things. This is why I get on Mack all the time. I'm like, yo, you got to get yourself out there. It's like, no, I don't want to.
Get out of your closet, Mack.
Up over that. So glad.
It's my padded room. Let me have it, okay?
I am so glad I'm not the only one who beats him up over that. Let me tell you.
Yes. I'm like, come on.
Like, Mack, what are you doing?
Come on.
I'm trying to survive this. That's what I'm doing.
I think I'm going to text him every morning and be like, how have you advertised yourself today?
Right. No, not at all. Let's do this. I love it because I've been throwing stuff at him since. Right?
Wait. When did this go from networking to bashing on Mack?
You got bashing on you.
No,
we're
Apparently this is one.
Okay, I'm the example now. Okay.
Yeah, look, you put it on yourself that you're the example, because you pointed out the fact that if you didn't know me, you wouldn't have gotten your StreamYard background and your layovers and stuff, right? And then you wouldn't have had the confidence to start this show like you did getting started. Right. Had you not known any of us to begin with, to tell you from the get-go that you should be doing your own show. So all we've been is, so if anything, you are the epitome of the result of networking, my friend.
I'm the epitome of insanity to know you two. That's who I am.
Stop it.
That's what it is.
You got that honestly.
That's true. Absolutely. Who needs voices when I got you two?
Yeah, why?
Now you know why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a padded room.
Look, I'm waiting on mine.
It's not padding, guys. It's clothing. He's in a closet.
It's in a closet.
You know what? I've got so many secrets. I just want to tell everybody about you. Many. Yeah, now she says that. Yes, I do most of my recording in a walk-in closet. Guess what? It's the secret of all voiceover actors. We all do.
Proud to put that out there, Mack. Do you know how many people out there are like, I can't do a podcast. I don't have a clean, closed off room to make it where I can sound. Come on, Mack.
Soundproof it. Yeah, that's a huge thing.
The closet podcaster.
See, this is the reason why I keep in the closet. This is why I keep in the closet.
I was talking with a podcaster. I was talking with a voiceover actor the other day.
Yes, that was an awesome show, by the way.
Yes,
I love his voice. He's got such a deep voice.
His voice is amazing, and
it's like butter.
Yes,
not like butter.
Butter, like butter.
It's amazing, and he was talking about you have that small room, that closet that you learn in and you train yourself and stuff. And it was nice to hear that, because I think so many people think that they need if you're starting out podcasting, if you're starting out doing any voiceover, you need to have that perfectly padded room and you need to have the best mic. And I mean, you don't. Like what Tiffany was saying, you start out with a lot of the free things when you are just getting off the ground, and that is a lot of times just good enough. If your message is catching enough, that's all that people need.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially just starting out, you can build up to those fancy equipment, the microphone, the headphones, whatever else, but you don't need that to get started. You could literally start a podcast today for free. There are apps that will allow you to do that. If you have a story that you need, I will show you. I will gladly show you how to get started today with your first episode for free. Because that's the biggest, if anything, that's the first step. Just getting that first episode out. And now everybody wants to know what happens next.
Yeah, tell us. Go for it.
That's all you need. But why not take that chance?
Didn't you say you were going to be giving a webinar soon, Miss Tiffany?
Am I? Am I? No, New Year's Day, I was going to announce that, yes, I'm going to start a coaching program teaching people how to start their own podcast or web show, whether they want to be on video or just voice, and using every free platform I can offer them. Yeah, it's showing them all the apps I used. There's obviously tons more out there. So if they find another one that they like, then go ahead, use that one. But I can at least speak from experience and be like, hey, these are the apps I used. I used all the free versions. This is what it made it capable of me doing. And you go from there. Skyrocket. I mean,
that's
humble beginnings is all it is. As long
you know what?
I mean,
Tiffany, the way you said that, I'm mad because when I offer this, let me say this. When I offer this and I said, listen, give me a good 2 hours. Let me talk you through this. Okay. We're gonna go to the edge of the bridge together,
Yes.
And honey, they get up there and they be like, I don't think I can talk.
Let me tell you,
I've been on this phone with you for a whole hour.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? Going live is a totally different animal. And pre-recording videos, I get more stressed out over a pre-recorded video than I do a live video. Don't know why. Maybe it's because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, if I mess up, I can just pause and restart from where I left off. It's just stressful. But when I first started out, I was legitimately doing Lamaze before hitting the live button. I was freaking out before every episode. Like, I can do this. Because I was just not used to going live. Now I just do one big inhale and exhale and hit the live button. I've grown, people. I've grown.
You're really good. I mean, you guys are all just great naturals we've been live for an hour now, and it just, you guys have been naturals.
No, trust me.
Fantastic.
But that's because
you give us enough time.
Years now.
If you would have brought me on
here 2 years ago, I would have been like, do I have to talk?
I can tell you right now, you give us another 2-3 hours, I promise you, you'll still be looking like, wow, we've been on this phone that long.
They still talking.
They still talking.
We haven't been talking that long. The only people who would be like, oh my God, they're still talking are the people watching. We'll just keep talking.
The people that
my kids will starve. My boyfriend will be like, when's dinner? Keep on talking. It's no problem.
My wife will be the same thing. My wife will be the same way.
No.
Like, why are you still on there? Are you guys done yet? Gosh. Come on. No, my teenager's like that. That's my teenager. My teenager. Dad, can you come in here? Because I'm tired of watching my brother and I'm kind of hungry. Can you make me something to eat and stuff?
I don't have that problem yet, but my little one.
Oh my God. When you
glad
my little one's
Ashley's about the same way. Ashley doesn't know that yet either. But when that happens, it's going to happen. And you're like, oh. This is why. This is another reason why I pointed out my gray in my beard. This is another reason why I pointed out the gray in my beard. Okay, my first son made me bald. Okay, not nature, him, because I was doing this all the time. Now my other one makes me just stressed out like high heaven, and that's why I have gray.
It's gray, huh? That's horrible.
It's not white yet. Okay, I'm not.
My
Moses.
podcast has given me the grays. Yes, the podcast has given me the grays. So,
please, Tiffany, you got some grays in there. Don't even say it. Oh wait, no, you don't.
You guys all look fine and sassy. I love it.
I'm gonna look like Rogue from X-Men soon.
Oh,
you know what?
Streak of gray right here in the front.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, guys, thank you so much. What are some last words or stories you want to share to everybody that's listening and going to be future listening?
Ooh, I got one. Okay, so listen.
Just one?
This is what's happening, right? I need one, right? When you want to start a podcast, I will say this. Think of it as this is your pencil and eraser.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and say what it is that you want to say. Speak your mind. And just remember, you got that eraser on there. and you can get rid of it at some point in time. You don't have to press the button. You can cut it up and do it up and all that good stuff. So I mean, you never know how good it sounds until you think you don't want it to be up there, and you're like, but it's okay. Just sit, play, and walk away. Just hit play, walk away. Just add, walk away. Just walk away. A lot of the times we overthink, right? A lot of stuff, like all the time. Me, I have 14 people in my brain, and honey, I'm trying to tell you, when they talk, they talk. So I'm like, gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of that. But at the same time, not everything needs to get rid of. Just know, like, if it's really your passion, just do it. Just do it. You got this.
I think the best way to add on to that is recognizing that starting a podcast is not all about you.
Yeah.
So starting a podcast does not just mean you're getting out your story and you're getting whatever's off your chest or whatever. You never know who is potentially out there that needs to hear what you have to say. Yeah. Who's going through something that, because of what they've heard from you, now they're able to get through it, or at least get started to get through it. Who's gonna be just touched in a way that they're either ready to conquer the world because of it, or you never know what effect you're gonna have on somebody. But you're never gonna have that effect on anybody until you actually do it. So freaking do it, people. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but no, seriously, it's not. It's. I promise you, starting a podcast may feel like it's all about you and that you're trying to bring attention to yourself. Yeah. And it's always going to feel that way. It's always an awkward feeling. But it's also an amazing feeling when you get those messages. You're so inspirational. I love what you're doing. Your story helped bring me along through whatever I was going through in my life. And you never actually know what effect you're going to have on somebody until you just let it out and let the world digest it. True. You're never going to let the world digest it if you don't just get it out there. So whether it be video or just audio, get it out there. The world needs you, and you just don't know it yet. Plain and simple.
I love it. I love it. Yes. You just never know. You never know. And sometimes you can actually tread on things that you didn't think you were going to tread on too. Like I've had a lot of shows to where as the person brought up an experience. And sometimes those experiences, I mean, it took over the whole show. But I loved it because I said, you know what? I love that show. That show was good. That was something. Not only did the person, my guest, get a chance to speak of, but I can put my experience in that same vein, and it was just so awesome. And so many people. I get more listens on that show than I do on a lot of my shows. So it's just like, yeah, they needed to hear it. They needed to hear it over and over and over again. Let it happen. So don't deprive your guests. Don't deprive your listeners. Just know that, it was meant to be said. Boom.
That's so true.
Your turn, Mack.
All right, Mack, your turn.
Oh, I have a turn now? Oh, man. My sister said she was only going to do one. No, she did two. And my other one just decides, no, I'm just kidding. I love you both.
The other one decided to take it to church, okay? I took it to church.
I love it. I think we needed to hear that.
It is true. Everything they said is absolutely true. And this is the reason why we get along so well and we jab at each other, mostly them jabbing at me. But it is that when you find people around you that that support you in whatever you're doing, it's easier to take those leaps of faith because you have so many people supporting you, and not only supporting you, but pushing you. And yes, I have two very beautiful pushy sisters on here. But without them, I don't know if I would have actually been able to do the show, because I would have never been able to figure it out on a lot of things. Even though I'm pretty creative and I can think on the fly, there's a lot of things that they experience that I didn't know about. So finding people that are doing what you're doing or closest to what you're doing, find them, talk to them, pick their brain, figure out what, little parts of their story that were very difficult for them, and that way that you're not going down the same path that they did. But now that you guys are parallel on these roads, they're giving you these little gems of wisdom that you can take with you. And once they peel off, then guess what? Now it's your turn. And when you come up to somebody else that's parallel to you and saying, hey, I don't know how to do this. Oh, that's too easy. Here's all the information. I got you. 2 hours on the phone with you. I got you. Too easy. But that's what it means. Like, you have to find the support to make those leaps of faith, because that's where you're going to get your courage from. You're going to hear talks. You're going to hear all kinds of people say, oh, you can't do this. Why are you doing this? You're just going to make a fool of yourself. Honey, I've been making a fool of myself for years by listening to people.
Family is the number one culprit too.
Family is.
I said it, and I am not ashamed to say it. I love you, Mom, if you're watching, by the way. But family is the number one culprit who will be there. I don't understand what you're doing. You have to keep doing it. You're not really making a whole lot of money from it. Couldn't you just go get a real job? Okay, people. I love your family. Take what they're saying to you and just let it roll off your shoulders. Go find the people, the strangers out there that are going to become your lifelong friends, like my little family here, and have them be the ones to support you, because they actually are going through what you're going through on a daily basis. Nobody can understand what you're going through unless it's a fellow podcaster, TV host in general. Those are the ones that are going to be there to pick you up, let you know you are good enough. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, Mac, I don't know if I should continue this.
Oh, please.
You know how crazy that sounds? I have a podcast, a web show, and a digital TV show. And I have called Mac and been like, you know what? I don't know if this is worth it anymore. And not because I don't like what I'm doing, but because of all the negative stuff that people are throwing at me. And they mean the best of intentions. But just because they have the best of intentions does not mean it's always good. It's always a good thing to say.
I want to
family, we love you. But, pretend to support us. At least throw us fake support so that we can go find the real one somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere. We promise.
Yeah. And I want to add something to this real quick. Because of the fact that 2 days, one, my battery's getting low on my laptop. But no, the other thing is that there was a wonderful woman that's in her 60s. She started her business less than a year ago, and she's already celebrating her first year doing it, and she's been a success doing it. But here's the thing: that one of the things that she said was, God didn't have a conference call with you, family, and everybody else around you to pitch an idea. He had one-on-one call with you.
Yes.
That is who you were supposed to. He was wanting to talk to you specifically and put this idea in your head and tell you to go with it. Because he already made you. He already knows what you're good at. So guess what? Go do it. Take that leap of faith. Do your research on what you want to do. Find some partners that are around you to help you out. Barter at first. Okay? Because it's going to make you you're going to get a lot farther doing that and finding the free stuff first. And then when you start making enough money to get all the premiums and all the other stuff that's going to make it even better, do it then. But at this point, God had a conversation with you. Guess what? He wants you to do it. So go do it.
Yes.
Love it.
How's that about taking it to church, Carl?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Of course.
I could never do that right. My boyfriend's totally gonna laugh if he hears that I did that live on the video. Yeah.
My wife has told me you do it too well sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for being on here. And I think we should really start our own podcast because this is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, you guys are fantastic. And I hope that you have a great holiday season. And thanks so much for being on the show. And we're gonna exit out here in a little bit, but thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy New Year, all of the above. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, all of it.
Merry Christmas. That's it. Merry Christmas.
Yep. Take care, guys, and we will see you back here next time.